let's look at the Excel interface. At the top left hand corner we have what we refer to as our quick access toolbar, and you know this by a drop down arrow. If you've got anything in your file, don't worry about it, as you'll be covering the Excel toolbar, the quick access toolbar, shortly. Next to the quick access toolbar we have the book 1-Excel. This is the default name when you're opening files. When you open another one, book 2, the moment you save the file it will update with the file name. Then we have our search bar, and that's greened out, and if you hover with your mouse over it goes white. So if I click on the search, it will give me freeze panes, for example, and then a couple of options, and then I can even type in here to find certain things as well. Next to that we also then have again your name, minimize, maximize, and closing it down. Beneath that we then have, to get rid of this then as well, the search, I'm just going to press escape on the keyboard. Below that we have our ribbon, and we'll be discussing this ribbon later on. Next to that we have our name box, which really just tells us the cell that we have selected. So we selected cell C2 or F7, can you see it selected? And then from there we also have our formula box, our FX, and then here we have our formula bar. And when I click into Excel, notice that this is grayed out, but the moment I click into it everything is available. On the left hand side we have a scroll bar, then we have a scroll bar at the bottom, we have our views here at the bottom as well as a scroll. Let me select cell A1. The moment that I've selected it, everything becomes available on my ribbon, as well as I've got my views, which is my normal view. If I click on my page layout view, changes the view. If I click on my page break preview, now page break preview is very handy when we especially when we come to printing, and we'll be discussing this later. Let's click again on the normal view. I can also zoom by clicking on the plus, and really it just maximizes or zooms into the Excel cells. It doesn't zoom in on anything else. Let me minimize, reduce the zoom again to 100%. I can even left click and hold on the zoom button there and drag it as I want to. Beneath that we have what we refer to as our sheets. Sheet 1, it will always default as sheet 1, and if we want to add more sheets, you can see there that if I hover over the plus sign, auto tooltip says new sheet. If I want to add new sheets, I just click on pressing the plus sign, and then we got Excel ready. Always make sure that when you are working with Excel that it is in ready mode. Now what we can also do is we can navigate. You see at the top here we got A, B, C, D, E, F, and all the way down. So this is really just column A, column B, column C, and then on the left we got 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way down, and that is the rows. So Excel is a combination of columns as well as rows, and all these blocks within Excel is commonly referred to as the Excel grid, the cells. So look at it as a grid. So if I select in column A1, can you see that column A has grayed, and then A is green, and then the row is also grayed, and that is also green. So if I click anywhere, I know that where I am. I just quickly look at the columns. There's a green line there as well. I know I'm in column L, and I know there's a green line there as well. I'm in row 14, so therefore I'm in cell L14. Let me click somewhere else. Column D is highlighted, row 9 is highlighted. I'm in cell D9. What I can also do is, if I hover over column with my mouse, look at my mouse pointer, a white cross. If I move it to over column F now changes to a different green. Can you see that there's a black arrow pointing downwards? If I left click it, I can select column F. Alternatively, I can wait for it again for that black arrow, and I can left click and hold and then drag it, and I can select column H to L. Alternatively, I can select column C and then press Ctrl and keep press and hold it down on your keyboard, and then move to column F, select column F and G, and now I've selected multiple columns. Alternatively, I can go to my rows and I can hover over row 2, look at the black pointed arrow right. If I left click now, I can select row 2. Alternatively, if I over row 4, look at the black arrow, if I press and hold my left click all the way down, I can select multiple rows. Alternatively, let me select row 3 again, press and hold Control 3, I can select row 9, or if I go back and select row 3, I can select row 9 and even a selection of other rows. Now let's take this further. I can even select row 3, select row 10 to 13, select column C, select column F and H. I can even go and select a cell in as well. Can you see how many things I have selected? From there, if I go back into hover over cell A1, left click, I can select one cell. Alternatively, if I press and hold my mouse key, I can select a range of cells. Alternatively, go back and select A1, then go back on, press Control on your keyboard, go to G3, look at how the graphic appears on the cell. I can hold, left click and drag and hold, left click and drag, or even select another one. Select this column, select another column, select a couple of rows, select another row. Play with this, as this will make it so much easier for you when you start using Excel in how to navigate the Excel grid.